Hey, Dave from Stuff Outdoor Dads Like, coming back to you. Another review. This is all part of my Commuter Bike series. And this one focuses on this little guy right here, the Topeak MTX series rack and bag. I can't recommend this enough. Let's just start. If you get nothing out of this review, just go out and buy this. As I talked about in my accessories review, which kind of talks about all these additions to make this thing a total 4-season commuting beast, I did talk about this bag a little bit. So I want to talk about it more because it's that good that it deserves its own independent review. When I started bike commuting, I started with a messenger bag. One, I already had it, and that's what I'd recommend, is just getting out there. If you want to commute by bike, you don't need a awesome Marin Sausalito E1 e-bike like this. You don't need the MTX rack and bag. What you do need is just a desire to go try to do it and then just work through the process. The beauty of all of this is the bike by itself is kind of expensive, but you probably have a bike at home. And then you keep figuring out what works for you and then keep adding little bits on at a time. This bike has studded snow tires. It's got pannier or whatever these things are called, pogies. Those came on in the winter. I didn't need those. You could wait to add the fenders until you realize if you're going to ride in the rain or not, or just kind of ride when it's warm and nice out. But you just keep adding to it iteratively. A lot of the stuff that I got used off eBay. It worked great. So back to this bag. So I started out with a messenger bag on my back, which looked really cool, but messenger bags, one strap, even with the cross sort of cinch strap, the bag rides around a lot. It's sort of sliding on your back, but the biggest complaint I had was how hot my back was. I was getting off my bike just covered in sweat. It was just disgusting. So I had to figure out a different way. A backpack is another common choice, but again, it's gonna leave your back sweaty. It's gonna deal a little bit better with the bag sort of sliding around on you, but it's not gonna deal with the sweat factor. And when you're going to work, if you can cut out different things, like maybe you probably want to shower because you're not disgusting like I am. I just go to work and change all my clothes and then sort of dry off with a towel. There are showers where I work, so that's good. But you know, the less steps that you have to do, the less hot and disgusting you are, kind of the easier it is. That lowers the barrier to entry to ride. So this whole series has a number of options. One is a seat post rack that comes off and works with these bags just as well. I had two of those actually. I purchased both of them off eBay. There's actually a ton of these on eBay. I bought like the rack and the bag for like $50. It was a great deal. It was really easy to see what I was getting into. The bag was in great shape, although it was lightly used. And if I didn't like it, I could just sell it again, you know. And I think I got two of those racks that came off the back, and I did sell one of them. They have all sorts of accessories that put like more of a fender on the bottom. Everything about it is great, and Topeak customer service has been awesome. They've sent me a couple replacement parts, just sort of the rubber that would wrap around here. One of the racks came without all those pieces, so it really made it easy. But I ended up getting this, and it worked really well. The one thing with those seat post racks, to mention quickly, is they will slide around if you don't crank them on in terms of tightness. It does have a quick release, so you don't need to ride with it all the time. It's not difficult to take on and off, so you only have it on your bike when you're actually riding. But if you don't tighten it down, it will slide around. Just get some of those rubber pieces that they come with and then crank it down, and you won't really have a problem. This, however, the actual rack does work better. This rack also has sort of a spring setup that I'll show you to sort of strap stuff down onto it. Frankly, I don't use it at all and kind of wish I didn't have it, only from a weight standpoint, but it is there in terms of flexibility. The big piece is this bag though. So the first thing is, when I get to work, I park my bike in the bike rack that's outside. I have a lock that's at work. I lock it up. And then I come over here, I squeeze this yellow trigger and take the bag on my shoulder into work with all my gear. Okay? While I have this off, let's talk about that spring guy. It just lets you strap some stuff under here. This is the Explorer Disc 650B. I think. So that's this. It does have a rear light here, or a rear reflector, and there is a different options to put a light here instead of a reflector, which is very helpful. But back to my bag. So there's this track system on the bottom. It slides on and off seamlessly. And then I have had this come off once when I was riding and didn't notice it. It was totally my fault. I just didn't get in the grooves. This has metal slides. The one that just has the seat post rack was plastic, so I think that might have been part of it. But I just put the shoulder strap around here, and then I just have a Staples like binder clip here to clip it. Let's go through the parts though. So the first thing, gotta take it back off to show you one more time how easy it is. There's another little clip here, so you can add a really easy, just a rear light, like this Night Rider light here that I love. Love maybe is a strong term. It works well enough. It's good. I still recommend it. See my other review. There's a nice handle back here. There's some reflective piping. There's reflective piping on the side to make you more visible. And the newer bags, have a water bottle guy here too, which is a nice addition. All right, let's put this back on here. Let's talk about the inner parts and pieces. So what do I carry to work with me? So first thing is I have this mesh pocket up here, so I get to work, take off my other Night Rider light. This one I do really like. This is the Lumina Micro 650. Just put it right in there, and I put my glasses that sunglasses or whatever, tuck them right in the top too. Nice cell phone holder on the top. The key to riding and commuting is having lots of layers and options. So if it's warm in the morning, you don't have bike gloves, but you think you need bike gloves in the afternoon, no problem, they're in there. You feel like it might rain later, you want your shoe covers, those fit in there too. You feel like you might need a little cap for if it gets cold, yep, fit that. A couple breakfast bars because I'm waking up early and don't want to eat before I leave. Here's my wad of clothes that I change into. So I strip everything off of me and then put on fresh clothes. Like I said, maybe in this review, maybe in the other review, I don't shower every time. Don't judge me too harshly. There are showers at work. I could use them. It just takes more time. If it's hot in the summer, I do. But I'm normally riding at 4:50 in the morning, so it's not that hot, and then sun's barely up, so it's not that big a deal. No one's complained yet. So full clothes bundle. Tupperware for my sandwich. And then I keep a bag in there. If I take soup to work, I just put it in this bag as another layer of protection. Which is the other nice thing about this. Because this is flat here, I can take soup to work. If you have a normal pannier, you're not putting soup in that puppy. I mean, I wouldn't. That seems like a bad idea. Okay, so that's sort of the main compartment. 90% of the time, that's all I use. What bag is this? That would have been good to tell you at the beginning. So this is the MTX series from Topeak. This is the Explore Disc Rack. This is the Topeak MTX EXP bag. There's like 3 different main bags in the lineup. There's the EX, which doesn't have these side pockets. There's like a little zipper pocket here, but there's like very little space. The EXP, which is this one, and I'm going to show you what it folds into, and then the DXP, which also has another pocket up here. If I were to buy this bag again, I would get the DXP. And the reason why is sometimes I take my battery in at work, and I bet that puppy would slide in pretty slick right up here in that extra pocket. And sometimes, I'm in New Hampshire, that the temperatures change dramatically. Sometimes there's a 20 or 30 degree temperature change from the morning to the afternoon when I go to work and I come home. So having other layers, it would be really nice to put them in here. Okay, now let's talk about the hidden feature of this bag. This has a pannier in here. So this comes down here, it gets hooked over, tightened down. You have a full pannier bag on both sides. So 90% of the time I do not use these, but the other 10%, very helpful. So sometimes I'm working a night shift. I have a pair of shoes that I leave at work for most things, but at night I normally wear like a Birkenstock, and I don't leave those. I bring them from home. So when I bring my shoes, I can just put them in here. The other thing I carry in here is all my emergency supplies. So I have a full bag here of everything I carry in case there's a problem. God, this should be, some of the gems in this review just keeps on going. Let's talk about this, because I think this is important in terms of what I'm carrying and what I use it for. Actually, you know what? Spoiler, or, cliffhanger. I'm going to package this into a whole nother review. Oh, so exciting. Let's put that back in there. I almost gave it away. Almost gave away the whole thing. Okay, so Topeak MTX track system bag. This is the MTX EXP bag with the Explorer disc rack. Can't recommend it enough. The bag is about $115, $120 from Topeak's website or through your local bike shop. Again, you can get them on eBay. There's a ton that are on there that are all cheaper. A lot of them are used, but there's some new that have good deals. People getting rid of the rack and the bag together. You can get into it for like 50 or 60 bucks. I think the rack by itself is like 50 or 60 as well. So Dave from Stuff Outdoor Dads like coming back to you again with another review. Hope you're enjoying it. If you have any comments for me, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back with answers for you. All right, thanks guys.